Hi, I'm Anna Jorgensen from Cortes de Cima in Vidigaida, Alentejo, Portugal. I'm the second generation of the family working there now. I came back in 2019 after spending 10 years outside working at different wineries and studying. And in 2020, I took over the family project, and we started doing a lot of things, a lot of transformations, trying to take the project, looking at the project, thinking about what do we want it to be in the next 20, 30, 40 years. What do we want to leave for the next generations? Like a proper rethink, trying to take the best out of what was already built, and try to just build on top of that. So our big focus started in the vineyards. So sustainability to us is a key point of what we do. So we converted everything to organic in 2020, the whole property. We started to work with regenerative practices, low till to no till, more or less. Reducing vineyard area as well. So moving from monoculture to polyculture. Now we're starting to plant forests in these areas where we don't have the vineyard. We also are going to bring in animals. We have sheep now. We're going to have our own cows, so we can close the circle more and make our own compost. Really trying to set the vines up to be more resilient, especially in this changing climate. So in the vineyard, that's kind of been the way we've been working. We also starting to work a bit with biodynamic practices as well. And in the cellar, everything we do in the vineyard then kind of has been taken into the cellar as well. So we started to work with less intervention and native yeast since 2020, and trying to respect the terroir. So we're also doing a big soil study, and so that's also giving a lot of context to what we do in the winery.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is this is not just like a 5-hectare sort of like vineyard. This is quite a substantial operation. Yeah, you see, you have two different vineyards, the home vineyard and the coastal Alentejo. So they're both quite big, yeah. Yeah,
exactly. So we are farming at the moment 120 hectares in total, which is big. But in 19 we're farming 240, so it's also a big reduction. And we are still looking at reducing, kind of trying to figure out the best terroirs for the future. But for sure, farming at this scale has you really need to work very well, be very organized. There's definitely challenges in there, but for sure it's possible to do these kind of changes in scale. And I think the fact that we do have scale make them in a way more impactful. We're able to have a bigger impact on our community and on our farm as well.
And you've had some quite interesting consultancy help with. So you've had Marco and Pedro, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess for me it was really important when I came back into the business to get some outside perspective on what we were doing, and essentially if we're able to work with the best in the field to do that, because we have so many decisions to make, so many important decisions, and it was really important to have the right guidance. Also, like for myself, I'm not so old. I've done 10 harvests. But it was nice. It's been nice to have other people to discuss things with. So yeah, Marco has helped us a lot in the vineyards. Obviously with his pruning methods, respectful pruning, but also the whole way that we look at the vineyard, through how we manage the teams, how do we motivate our team, and really building knowledge inside of our winery. That's been really, really important. And now we're going to start a new chapter, designing the vineyards of the future, together with him. So we're looking at what kind of architecture the vines should have, what kind of density, what kind of rootstock. Really, like right now it's an open page for sure. We've been visiting some old vineyards with him from our region. and getting inspired with obviously the big bush vines and the branching and the 3D shapes, especially in a warm, sunny climate. But then, of course, adapting that to a way where you can also mechanize and in a good way. And so it's really ground zero and really exciting on that side. And then besides that, we've been working now with Pedro Parra on the soils and mapping out the property, figuring out what we have. It's helped us decide what vineyards to keep for the future and what vineyards are not so interesting to keep because, for example, maybe the mother rock is too shallow and the roots can't explore. And so you're kind of dependent on doing hydroponics, which is not compatible with our viticulture, our way of farming. So that's helped, on this decision of what to keep, what not to keep, and also where to plant the future vineyards.
But it also sounds like you've got intelligent consultancy because they're not just bringing a recipe from other places. They begin with looking at what you've got, and then together you decide, well, this is maybe the best option for the site we've got.
Yeah. Definitely, it's not like a copy-paste kind of thing. We're looking at having tailored solutions for where we are, for specifically where we are in terms of climate and soil, but also on what we want to do with the project. And so, yeah, it's a long partnership. We've been working with Marco since 19. And he's coming maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and we're discussing a lot of things in detail. So,
and in the winery, that's something you've taken decisions on, then, presumably.
Yeah.
And so the first wines of your new era would be from 19, maybe 20. But they're in the market now. How's the market responded?
For sure, like you start something in the vineyard, and then eventually it passes through the winery, and then at some point it goes out in the market. So we're only just starting that now. We've put some small production new wines out, which we call the wild cards, like the key we made together in 19,
yes.
Which is an amphora wine, or an interpretation of an amphora wine, Natalia. And now we've rebranded our classic range. We've cleaned it up, kept like our core pillar blends, the Chaminé and the Cortes de Cima, and we've freshened it up, new look, to go with the change that in fact there is something different inside the bottle as well. And now we're showing it to the market, and it's really exciting to get feedback. And to see like what new ways that can also open for the market in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you.